So good morning, everyone. My name is Ray Navarro. I am a clinical therapist for a nonprofit that will not be named, and I am also I'm the president and clinical counselor for Navarro Counseling LLC. You can find most of my information on navarrotherapy.com. I recently started writing some blogs, and I was told that it might be a good idea for me to make a video about it. The one specific blog that I want to talk about today is one where it's titled Virus versus Quarantine, Mental Health versus Physical Health. And this is a major problem. You know, as adults, we're struggling. And what we don't seem to understand is that us as 30, 40, 50-year-old people, we've lived lifetimes. We've gone through trauma. I mean, we've dealt with 911, 9/11. I've personally dealt with, the fall of the Berlin Wall. When I grew up, we thought that there was going to be a nuclear war any day between the Soviets and the Americans. So I understand what it's like to live in a world of stress, but for a pandemic, for most of us, this is all new. And for our children, this is the weirdest thing they've ever been through. So with that said, we have to start thinking, what is the plan here? The school boards throughout the state, I'm in the state of Florida, but the school boards throughout the state seem to be making political decisions when we should be making decisions for what's best for our children. Let's not fool each other. The coronavirus is a real thing. It's a dangerous thing. I'm not a medical doctor, but it does appear to affect people with pre-existing conditions, even though nowadays there are kids and there are people that are getting it and they're dying and they didn't have pre-existing conditions. But with that said, the death rate is still extremely low. What's not low and what's increasing almost on a daily basis is the mental health issues that are occurring in this country and that are occurring with our children. Our children are stuck at home. They're, and as parents, we think, okay, they're home, they're safe, they have food, we don't have to worry about the virus. But we need to think about what's important in life. How do we stay mentally healthy? And the way we do that is through a balanced life. It's not just a matter of going to school every day. It's not, for adults, it's not just a matter of going to work every day. No, a balanced life is about having good relationships with family members, having good friendships, having a hobby, doing exercise, going outside, getting sun in your face, smiling every day, just having love, having purpose, having something that you wake up in the morning and you go, you know what, I'm excited to do this today. And right now we don't have that. And the few adults that are going to work, like myself, I'm considered essential. My girlfriend's considered essential. So we get to go out and do things. But some of these kids that I'm seeing, 90% of my caseload are children under the age of 12. Some of those kids haven't left their house in weeks. Some of those kids, their parents are making decisions right now on whether they need to go to work or they need to stay with their children because there's nobody to watch them. There's no, if the parents don't go to work, how are they going to feed their children? So these kids are being neglected. These kids are not getting the love that they need. They're not getting the attention that they need. And we're so worried about a virus that's affecting people now, and we should be. But what we don't see is the horror and the travesty, the danger that's going to happen 10 years from now, 5 years from now, hell, maybe even a year from now. I mean, these kids are already depressed. The average rate of suicide, I mean, we've had more suicide in the last couple of months than we've had in the last couple of years. now think about the kids that were dealing with child abuse. You know, when you're being abused as a child, you go to school, there are people there that are watching you. There are people there that are mandated reporters. If they see something, they say something. If they see a change in attitude, you can pick up on that, and you know something's wrong. You can talk to that child, and you can call 96 abuse, and you can figure out what the problem is. But if they're at home with these animals, with these perpetrators that every single day are abusing them, we're eventually those children, those victims, are going to grow up, and they can either learn from the suffering and become stronger, better people, or more than likely they're going to be traumatized people that are going to have a huge effect on our society. And these are the kids that not too far from now are going to be running our country, are going to be running our world, and they're going to be making decisions. And decisions based on a perspective of a childhood that was grown, that was built in suffering. That's not the way you want to make decisions. You don't want to make decisions when you think that the world is shit, when you think that everything around you is horrible and that it will be horrible for the rest of your life. With that said, this is not a all or nothing type situation, right? We can minimize the damage. Right now, we have plenty of schools that are empty. Elementary, middle school, and high school. Completely empty. The high school kids, they're a little bit older. They're suffering just as much. I'm not going to take away from that suffering. I have a daughter that just started her freshman year, and she's having a horrible experience. The middle school kids too, they're younger. Middle school kids tend to be more aggressive, more problematic. But at the very least, they can make a sandwich, right? At the very least, you can give them a list of things to do and they can handle it. But the elementary school kids, they have no one. They've got nothing. They cannot support themselves. And those parents are going to have to stay home. Those parents are going to have to figure out a way to take care of those elementary school kids. So one solution that I'd like to propose today is that we open up the schools to the elementary kids. Let's split them up. Let's do the social distancing. Let's do the masks. Let's do anything you want to do. Let's try to keep these kids safe. But we have enough space to split all the elementary kids among the different elementary, middle school, and high schools. We have more than enough space, and we can finally get them in there, have somebody watching them, and really, at the very least, take care of our youngest population, of the next generation. So it frustrates me because I'm not a political person. I'm not affiliated to any party. In fact, if you go to voters registration, you can actually put no affiliation. And it breaks my heart because what I see a county by county school board making decisions based on political issues. And that's unacceptable. So what we need to do is what I do. When I see a problem as a therapist, or at least in the mindset of a therapist, I approach the problem, I see the people involved, and I make the best decision for those specific people that are involved. I'm not thinking about talking points. I'm not thinking about agendas. No, how do we minimize damage, and how do we protect as many people as we can? And right now, that's not happening. Right now, it's blue against red. It's fat elephants against jackasses. And it's unacceptable to me. And I hope that we can get together and we can find a solution, because this all or nothing bullshit thinking is going to end up really bad. People are worried about the economy, and the economy, as soon as they start evicting people, as soon as the collections start again, our economy is going to be in the trash. Let's not fool each other. But you know what? I don't give a shit about that. We can recover from the economy. We've done it for hundreds of years, if not thousands. You know, I know this country at the very least has done it multiple times. But what we need is to take care of our children. Because now, today, is when they are building their perspectives on life. Today. Think about if your whole life, if your perspective on who you are as a person and how society is and how the world is and how your peers are were to be judged by what you see today. How would you be? Would you be happy? Would you hate the world? Would you survive? Would you change? I don't know, but I'm scared and I'm worried because history tells us that this is going to end bad. So today when you see your kids, remind them that you love them. Give them a hug every single day. Love them every day. Give them a kiss every single day. Be there for them every single day. And let them know that you understand that they're suffering and that they're not alone. And let them know that this will end. This will end. And we will overcome. Remember to follow me at navarrotherapy.com. I would love to hear your comments. I think it's time that instead of fighting, we start talking. I'm not a religious person, but I believe in God more than I ever have in my life. And right now, I'm just going to say God bless. God bless you and God bless your family. Let's get this together.